Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a clip of a guy getting upset that he had to pay for an extra seat on Southwest Airlines when he couldn't fit into one. Despite multiple employees all telling him the same thing, that he would have to buy an extra seat because he couldn't fit into one, he kept arguing with them and insisting he could fit. We're also going to be taking a look at a bonus clip of someone talking about the 5 things only bigger people will understand, which includes complaints about those white plastic chairs, as well as various other furniture and infrastructure, so be sure to stick around until the end. Before we proceed, please click the like button so that I may apply comb to mustache.
Southwest Airlines charged me an additional $355 because their employee decided that I was too fat to fly. Let me tell you what happened. Tuesday, I was flying out of Dallas Love Field to Las Vegas for a conference. I got to the gate. The agent pulled me aside and then continued letting everybody board around me. She then looks at me and asks, I can fit in the seat with the arms down. I told her yes, I fly all the time. I don't spill over the armrest. I don't take up the seat next to me. I've never had an issue. She wasn't satisfied.
Okay, so she doesn't believe that you would fit into one seat. You would think they would have like a test seat or something like that in the front. I'm sure they will soon.
She called over a supervisor. So now I'm standing at gate 7 with 2 people visually judging me, deciding if I get to board this plane today.
I know that it hurts our feelings to hear people say that you probably won't fit into the seat, but if you won't fit into one seat, won't that be super inconvenient for whoever's next to you?
Or that day. They let me board. I was upset, but I let it go, and I told myself it was a fluke. It was just like a one-time thing. No big deal. Then I'm flying home from Vegas after my conference. I walk up to the counter to check my bag, and the agent steps aside from his counter, looks me up and down and says, you can't fly. You need to buy a second seat.
Okay, so now this is the 3rd Southwest employee telling you that you'll need to buy an extra seat. Now we have multiple different independent employees all telling you the same thing. Are we in denial about not fitting into our seat? Or I'm not saying you should be ashamed of that, but if multiple independent people have all told you the same thing, then perhaps it's because we really don't fit into one seat. Maybe in the past we did fit into one seat, but now we no longer do. Times do change, you know? Bodies do change. As we know, Southwest pretty recently got rid of their customer of size policy that was giving larger people a free extra seat if they didn't fit into theirs. Now that they're actually enforcing it, people are getting angry. All right, so we have to pay for the things that we're using. I also am upset.
I told him, don't look at me like that. He said, it's my job to judge passengers.
Oh yeah? Is that what he said? That's how he worded it too, huh? Let's see. When you say that particular part where he's like, it's my job to judge passengers, the super realistic part, you look up and to your left when you do that particular part. When you didn't do that when you were speaking during any other parts of this, watch.
He said, it's my job to judge.
Right there. At no other point in any of this does he look up and to his left. I'm not saying there's any validity to that thing where they say when you're lying, you look up and to the left. But I'm not saying there's not any validity to it. If you really want to throw people off, you look down and to the right when you're lying.
To judge passengers. His job to judge me? He said it was for my comfort.
I seriously doubt he worded it that way. Companies have a way of wording things that are a lot nicer than that, right? Instead of being like, yo, you're spilling into that other person's seat, they would be like, you need to be able to occupy one seat only. Like, companies have a way with words, dude.
As you can imagine, it escalated quickly. I sent him to get management. They come out and de-escalate. And they said that it was for my comfort and safety.
Okay, so they backed him up. So they didn't tell you that it was their job to judge people also? Management came out and said it's for your comfort and safety. I'm guessing that's what the first employee also said.
And before I was going to get banned for life from the airline, I stopped and I paid the $355.
That's probably the best course of action. This is now the fourth person, the fourth employee at Southwest that has come out and been like, yep, you're gonna have to buy an extra seat for your safety and comfort, or whatever the heck. How many more people are gonna need to be brought into this thing and tell you that you need to buy an extra seat before you actually accept it? This is wild. He's like, I don't need an extra seat. You need an extra seat. All right, man, all right, you don't need an extra seat.
For the second seat. And the crazy thing was, nobody was even sitting there. From the moment that I had to buy that seat, it was empty.
Right, because you bought it. What are you talking about? After I bought this seat next to me, nobody even sat there. Wouldn't you know? Yeah, because you bought it. That was the whole point.
But I had to pay for it. So the ticket went from manageable to over $800 for one way at this point. I have taken over 50 flights on Southwest. I have flown over 355,000 miles across this country, and I've never been made to feel the way I felt in Las Vegas.
Okay, so did you used to fit into one seat and now you do not? Because it sounds like that might be the case.
I'm embarrassed. I was mortified. I'm ashamed. My mental health already is the lowest it could possibly be. I don't think it could go any lower, so I thought.
So they should have just let you go into a seat that you didn't fit into and spill into somebody else's seat and not have to pay for it. That's what Southwest should have done. So that somebody else could be filming a video from their car talking about their miserable experience on the flight. This dude was spilling into my seat the whole time. For some reason, they didn't make him buy an extra seat. That's the TikTok that we would be watching right now instead of this one.
Right? And having somebody judge me just after I go to a conference to spend an additional $355 because it was their decision that I was too fat.
It was actually because you wouldn't fit into the seat and you would be spilling into somebody else's seat. I don't know if we're being purposely obtuse. We're trying to miss the point of buying an extra seat or something for some reason. We're like, you don't need an extra seat if you can't fit into one. These people are just being jerks. I don't understand what we're confused about.
Is mind-blowing to me.
Your complaint about this situation is mind-blowing to me.
You never know what somebody is going through. You never know how close they are to the edge. The emotional damage from something like this is real.
Okay, what about somebody that would potentially be sitting next to you? Also, if multiple people told us that we need an extra seat, how come we don't see it? How come everybody else can see this, but we cannot?
It doesn't go away when you land. It stays with you.
Nah, what happens up in the air stays up in the air. Or so I've been told. What happens up at 30,000 feet stays up at 30,000 feet.
It follows you. It sits on your chest as you're trying to go to bed at night. And for some people...
Okay. I know this is a very embarrassing situation, but we should probably be focusing on things that we can actually change to improve our situation.
That kind of moment is the one that pushes them over.
Yeah, a lot of people go through embarrassing situations and it motivates them to make positive changes in their lives.
We have to do better. We have to talk about this because mental health and words and actions like this, they break people.
You mean when people have to pay for the second seat that they're spilling into? That breaks them. Having to pay for the things that we use is breaking us.
Look, I understand policies exist. I get that people don't want to be uncomfortable.
But
there has to be a better way to handle it.
There's not.
Because having employees visually judge passengers and then...
We shouldn't be offended that people have eyes and they're using them to assess situations. This is a very useful sensing organ. You could ascertain a lot of things using this particular organ. Would you prefer they come up and start touching you? Like they close their eyes and just start feeling you? You feel like you wouldn't fit in a seat.
Audibly saying things where other passengers can hear? It's not okay. Southwest, do better.
Dude, I love the random demands at companies to do better.
Because this right here, this breaks people.
Okay. All right, well, I would say if that experience broke you, hopefully it motivated you to make positive changes in your life. When we say Southwest, do better, what do we expect from them? They used to give out free seats to people that couldn't fit into one, and it was destroying their bottom line. They couldn't afford it. Of course, I don't think Southwest is doing anything wrong by making people pay for the seats that they occupy. 4 different Southwest employees were like, yep, you will have to buy an extra seat, and you seem to still be in denial about the situation. I'm not saying you would or would not fit into a seat, but 4 independent people all seem to think that you would not, and they all work for the airline. Like I said, also, there's not really a better way to assess whether or not somebody would fit into a seat than by looking at them. It would be nice to have a test seat, but still, the employee would have to look at you and be like, please go use the test seat. Right? So at some point, somebody's going to have to do a visual assessment of us. Next.
5 things only bigger people will understand. Number 1, those little white plastic chairs that every person has at their house.
I don't have any of those crappy chairs.
Those things look like their legs could break at any moment. Will you ever catch me sitting on one? Absolutely not.
This isn't the first time I've seen people complaining about those white plastic chairs.
I would rather stand for the entire time I need to stand. I'll stand for 5 hours.
If you were to sit on one of those white chairs and it were to break, all of the plastic shards would like stab up into your butt and legs. You know that. You and I both know that that's made of like a special type of shattering plastic.
You will never catch me sitting on one of those damn chairs. Number 2, I don't know what these things are called. Space in between those
turnstiles?
2 things, it's not enough for my big fat ass. So I gotta go through it sideways because I'm like, all right, like it's a little bit skinnier and I gotta like shuffle through there. Number 3, going through airplane aisles. Let me tell you, when you first board a plane and the look that you are given when you're looking back at people or when you're going through there and you're trying to get all the way to your seat, let me tell you something.
Well, I don't personally like strangers rubbing up against me. So if people are giving you some kind of look because you're going to be doing that, it's related to that.
The aisle is like this big.
I don't know about that.
That's like 1/2 of my leg. For my first time boarding an
Okay, and are we going to see this as any sort of issue at any point?
Plane, and I was lucky enough to sit all the way in the front, so I didn't have to deal with it. But then the second time I ever went on an airplane, oh my God, I was sitting all the way back of the plane. I did not move from that flight because I refused to go through, oh, excuse me, sorry, I didn't mean to hit your arm. Oh, I didn't mean to hit your leg. My hips are hitting them like left and right. Number 4, shopping anywhere in person. If I have a last minute event to go to and I need an outfit, you're not getting an outfit.
I've never had an event to go to where I needed a last minute outfit. I've seen countless people bring up this scenario. Never happened to me once in my life. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm not constantly jet setting all over the place and needing all these different outfits. Oh, at the last minute, I need to make it to Jen's wedding. Like, no, I knew about Jen's wedding months ago or whatever events that I've been invited to. I knew about them a long time ago. Also, I have every type of outfit that I need already because I'm an adult. You know what I mean? I bought like polos for every single occasion already. So I never need to rush out to the store, and I don't understand anybody that does. I'm just constantly needing to get outfits.
Because all the places by me do not carry plus sizes. Closest Torrid from me
Try Walmart.
is like 45 minutes away from me.
That's not even that far. Personally, I have no problem with online shopping. Even when an unexpected event happens, like a funeral, I already have clothes that I could wear to that. If we have forethought, we can buy clothes for every potential occasion.
About it. The places that I used to shop at when I was in college, Forever 21, they took out their plus size section. American Eagle, I can fit into their jeans, but if I'm going to a nice event, I can't wear jeans. Let's think.
Okay, do you already have clothes? You've never been to a nice event in the past and bought clothes for that you could wear again? You will need to buy brand new clothes in person at various stores. This complaint constantly comes up.
Macy's? JCPenney? Come on now, I don't want to look like a grandma.
Okay, so chairs suck, we can't fit through the turnstiles at the subway, and now we can't find our size in store. There seems to be a common denominator among all of these complaints.
And lastly, number 5, over-sexing yourself. And I know a lot of people think about this, because I know I'm not the only one. There are a lot of people out there who think, I'd rather hook up with someone, I'd rather hook up with as many people as I can, be kept a secret, than deal with the feeling that there could possibly be no one that is attracted to me.
Wow, you're talking about people getting with people that might be fetishizing them.
I know I've done that before. I've hooked up with how many people just to get rid of that feeling of hopelessness and that you're not worth anything or you're not worth this space in this universe. So you want to know what? When a guy found me attracted or a girl found me attracted, it's like kind of like you throw yourself at them and you're like, oh my God, they appreciate me and they find me sexy. If I could smack myself 3 years ago, I would.
So it's interesting to hear about the 5 things only bigger people will understand. Much of those complaints were about us not fitting into things or through things. And the final complaint was actually pretty sad. A lot of those were very embarrassing situations that might motivate some people to change. I'm not saying that anybody's obligated to, but if I constantly have to go through all of these embarrassing things and there is one common denominator, I might take care of that. Many people in the past have had a lot of negative experiences like that they used as fuel to make positive changes in their lives. So we had a lot of interesting clips in today's video, but what do you think? Should that guy in the first clip have to pay for the second seat that he's apparently occupying, according to several people that work at Southwest? Is it a problem that employees have to assess somebody visually? And what the hell is the deal with those white plastic chairs? Leave a comment below. Happy Thursday, everybody. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wings.